What's going on, guys? Good afternoon. Welcome. It is 12:17 here in Northeast Florida, and we're gonna be shooting the shit for maybe like 30 minutes. That's pretty much all the time I have before I have to jet and run some errands. My daughter is currently being babysat, and I'm gonna go pick her up in about an hour and a half. So, welcome, guys. What is on your mind? What's going on, Grant? Good to hear that the podcast is... fire a link to me in the... I don't know if it'll let you post links in the chat. I'm not too sure. But feel free to fire it over to me on Twitter, and I'll take a look at it. Speaking of podcast, I started listening to... some of you guys might know who Matt Myra is. I believe I first found out about him on Attack of the Show. He does a ton of podcasts now. Was it Attack of the Show? I can't remember. But he has a Star Trek The Next Generation podcast that I only found out about like a week ago. It's called Star Trek The Next Conversation. It's pretty good. That's what I've been listening to lately. Welcome, guys. Sappity Took, good to see you, man. I'm sure you're sore as hell. Those kids will lap you. No question about it. What's up, Lord and Venom? Good to see you guys in Wayfest. Welcome to the Discord crew. Hope everybody's doing good over there. Grant Guthrie, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. What's up, Greedo? How goes it? Sorry I haven't been around. All well in your world? ? Yeah, all is great in my world, man. I don't, and no need to apologize. I barely stream. I barely do anything on the channel since the 1st of January, basically. And you know the reason. Currently a firefighter student in the academy. So that's going really well. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm the oldest guy in the class. But I feel like I'm super prepared for this. I basically spent all of 2020, all of 2020 preparing for this. So like, I feel like I'm in great shape. And it's been going great, man. Perfect fit. But don't apologize. I'm the one who should be apologizing. I stream like once or twice a month now, on average, I would say, since the 1st of January, and I've uploaded like 2 videos since then too. So man, I apologize for that. But cheers. Feel free to fire a link over to me on Twitter, and I will definitely check it out. That's an L for you. Welcome, man. Thank you so much. Let me take a quick sip of the old afternoon coffee. And it is actually old. I brewed this at about 6 in the morning or so. And I poured it into this Stanley, how big is this thing? 24 ounce, I think. 24 ounce, like, one of those Stanleys that keeps drinks hot for like 15 hours, you know? So it's old by now. Are we still impressed that cups can keep things super hot and cold for a very long time? I mean, it's a cool selling point, but I feel like it's kind of beating a dead horse now. I'm not surprised when I find out that a cup can keep a liquid hot for 9 hours. It doesn't. 10 years ago, I would have been like, holy fuck! But now, yeah, man, like, I feel it. Yeah, it's kind of normal. Anyway, that's an L for you. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. That's an L for you says, hey, EMT and paramedic student here. How are you liking the EMS aspect of the academy? Are you thinking about going beyond firefighter EMT to firefighter AMT or medic? Yeah, that's a really good question. I haven't really thought that far, man. I haven't really looked at the branching tree. I believe you can go, obviously you can go paramedic that side. But I believe there's other kind of branches you can go out on, like engineer and stuff like that, I believe. I haven't looked that deep into it, but as of right now, I've been enjoying the EMS aspect of it. It's way different than I ever would have imagined, and it's actually way more difficult than I ever would have imagined too. It's basically like a 3-month crash course in everything medical, and holy hell, it's a lot. And oh my god, I have like an exam every single day, and I'm constantly studying. So like, it's crazy how many kids have already dropped out, and I never would have imagined that it would be this difficult. But it's great, man. It's going really well. As of right now, I could absolutely see myself, 5-10 years in the future, maybe not that long, pursuing the paramedic side, going a little, advanced EMT. Yeah, it'd be cool. I think in the county I'm looking at, it's going to be like a $6,500 pay raise for paramedic, opposed to just EMT and firefighter certifications. So that's a big sticking point, because I have a kid now, and every time we go to the store, I want to get her a little something, right? But yeah, it's good. It's good. But I'm super excited for the firefighter aspect of it. Getting into that. Got it all scheduled and ready to go, and feel like I spent all of 2020 getting into great shape, and that's basically been, yeah, most of you guys who tuned into my streams in 2020, I probably bored the shit out of a lot of people by talking about my running routine. So it'd be like wake up at 5 in the morning or 4:45 in the morning and run 4 or 5 miles, like 5 days a week. That's basically what I did for 2020. The pandemic popped off. A month later, I got in contact with some people at the Firefighter Academy, found out what I needed to do in order to apply and everything, and I basically had like 10 months to prepare, and I lost like 35 pounds, yeah, I've never been in better shape in my entire life, even like in the Navy and boot camp and stuff like that. Never like this. I've been putting 80 pounds in backpacks on my front and my back, like 40 pounds on my front and 40 pounds on my back in 2 different backpacks, and walking up and down the stairs in my house. And I only count the ups, right? So I've been walking 37 ups, basically, the equivalent of a 37-story building, which is the reason I picked 37. That's the tallest building in downtown Jacksonville. So I've just been basically doing that. So it's good, man. It's been a fun ride, and I can't wait to, finish school and get to a station. But it's been a really good fit. It's been a really good fit, fun, and yeah, it's great. Anyway, Lord, good to see you, man. Hope everything is going well. Hey, Greedo, how's it going? Also, the Discord admins, hope you can come on sometime when you have a chance for a couple minutes. What? Not today. Let me see. Maybe like Wednesday in the afternoon. I can't promise anything because my daughter does not nap anymore, but maybe she could sit down with me and shoot the shit with you guys for a few minutes. So maybe like Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. or 2 p.m. my time. What do you think? If that's all right with you guys. But tentatively, let's plan that. We're going out of town this weekend, so I should be able to squeeze that in without having to pack and prepare. So let's actually say Wednesday, March 3rd, at like 2 p.m. if that's cool. And I'm gonna go ahead and set a reminder on my old Google Pixel. Remind me March 3rd at 1:45 p.m. Discord. Cool. All right, set. All right, and yeah, I'll be there. If anything comes up, I'll send you a DM on Twitter or something like that, Wayfez. But anyway, all right, guys. Cool. Hope everybody's doing well over there. Star Wars fan. I miss doing these too, man. I miss making videos. The last video that I made was about Star Wars Kid. And that's the kind of stuff I want to make moving forward, right? Everybody else covers topical stuff. There's a whole side of Star Wars YouTube that just covers, like, make 'em up, I'm angry about nonsense. I don't want to do that. People have, you know, canon covered extensively to a degree that I can never imagine getting to, like Star Wars Explained and Eckert's Ladder. You know, there's a whole side of Star Wars YouTube that is so knowledgeable and detailed that there's nothing I could add to the conversation. What I want to add to the conversation is things like Star Wars Kid, or hey, remember these 1999 McDonald's or Burger King Happy Meal toys leading into the Phantom Menace? Hey, do you want to watch that video? That's the kind of stuff that I want to cover in the future, you know. But is it really half off, Numpkin? I was dreaming I was in Disneyland. Nice. We actually went to the Magic Kingdom 2 weekends ago. It was great. It was great. Yeah, it's already been 2 weeks. Yeah, has it? It already has. Wow. And this coming weekend, we're going out of town. We have a cabin rented, just me, my wife, and my daughter. Doing a bunch of hikes. Got some great dinner plans at some places that, you know, I know of up in kind of the area that me and my friends have always gotten a cabin at. It's going to be a good time. And like one of my biggest goals for this trip, why is my monitor flashing like that? Oh, I see. Never mind. One of my biggest goals for this cabin trip is to get some really, really good shots of the Milky Way if possible. You know, I've done a little bit of astrophotography in the past. And by that, I mean like maybe 2 hours of it in my entire life. Just going out there with a camera, setting it on like a 30-second exposure, bumping up the ISO, you know. But I really want to get some good ones that I can print and put in my office. That's like one of my biggest goals. You know, when my daughter goes down for the night, me and my wife, you know, have some wine, sit by the campfire outside with the baby monitor, and do that. But anyway. Grant Guthrie, thank you so much once again for the channel support, man. Grant Guthrie said, all right, got to give a shout out to a great game. Try out Deep Rock Galactica. Is that the one with like the gnomes or so? Ain't Star Wars, but damn, is it a great time. Is that the one that I'm thinking of, like the Gimlis? Deep Rock Galactic. Did I say gnomes? Did I mean dwarves? Wait, is this what I'm thinking of? I think this is... Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I feel like I've seen this on my Steam list for a long time. And just like the logo and stuff like that. And I don't think I've ever actually looked at any gameplay. No. I didn't know it was a first-person game. Interesting. Okay. Let me actually go ahead and add that to my Steam list. There's not that I'm going to have any time to play it. I think the last time that I played any game was probably like January 1st, January 2nd, January 3rd. And it was definitely Zelda. But yeah, this looks cool. Let's see. Deep Rock Galactic. Deep Rock Galactic is a cooperative first-person shooter video game developed by Danish and blah, blah, blah. Tell me what it's about. 1 to 4 players cooperative first-person shooter where players work together while exploring procedurally generated cave systems. Players take on the role of 4 space dwarves assigned to various missions. Alright, that sounds fun. There's a game called is it Valhalla? No. Valheim? Valheim, I think. That looks really cool. Kind of looks like it's just like a survivor game, but it's a little more forgiving from what I've heard. But yeah, I wish, man, I miss playing games. You know, I used to play games with, you know, the best man at my wedding like multiple times a night for hours and hours on end. But I haven't done that since school started. But anyway, I appreciate that, Grant. I'll check this out. There's actually a game that what is it? It's like a lo-fi. There's a game where it's called like Notes or something like that. Where 1 second, Isaiah. I want to find this game because I found it the other day. Steam. It's on Steam. It's like where you write anonymous notes or kind words. Kind words. Kind words. Sounds like it's on Steam, and it sounds like just a really cool concept of a video game. Yeah, just search kind words. It just sounds interesting. I was reading about it. I don't know if I'll ever play it, but I love the idea of it. Sounds just kind of neat. Anyway, Isaiah, thank you so much for becoming the latest member of the fleet. I appreciate the hell out of that. Thank you so much. I don't know if you know this, but you get a special role in the HelloGreedo Discord server. I'm sure the mods are still listening. If they're not, I get it. I also occasionally do supporter Q&As, which since I started class. Basically, I haven't done much on the channel since January 1st. I don't know if maybe you're new, you haven't heard the spiel. I'm currently in the Firefighter Academy, and it's kind of consumed my life, understandably so. So, maybe I'll upload a video once a month, do a couple streams a month. But, dude, thank you so much for that support. I appreciate the hell out of that. Hopefully, I'll be able to do some more streams in the next few months when things might be kind of calming down a little bit. I think the first chunk of school is going to be the most hectic. So hopefully I can kind of get back into the swing of things somewhat in the not too distant future. But if everybody could do me a big favor and say welcome to the fleet, Isaiah, I would appreciate the hell out of that, guys. But anyway, welcome to the fleet, Isaiah. Cheers, man. Valheim seems interesting. Yeah, it looks cool. I'm kind of burned out on... Oh, nice. You're the same person. That's an L for you. Gotcha. Well, welcome to the fleet, man. Yeah, I'm kind of... the game, Valheim does sound interesting, even though I'm kind of burned out on survival stuff. It just sounds, different enough, I suppose. I don't know what kind of games I've been in the mood for lately. Like, I really don't know. The older I get, the more busy I am, the less I want to do in a game. Open world games sound so much fun, but they're so daunting when max, like, I have a couple hours a month that I can justify playing a game, So that's basically been Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I've only logged maybe like 6 hours since I got it for Christmas. Just not enough time.
Deep Rock is mining for minerals and smashing up bugs. Valheim is a fantastic time too, great for relaxing and adventuring. But focus on your stuff, dude. All of us are happy for you. I'll be around regardless. Happy to support.
Cheers, Grant. Thank you so much for the generous super chat and channel support this afternoon. I appreciate the kind words. Grant says, Deep Rock is mining for minerals and smashing up bugs. That sounds fun. That sounds like a good time. Valheim is a fantastic time, too. Great for relaxing and adventuring, but focus on your stuff, dude. All of us are happy for you. I'll be around regardless. Happy to support. You know what? That's like one of the coolest things about this kind of shift and focus for me is how cool everybody's been. Like, I told my patrons, I was like, hey guys, you probably won't hear from me much, at least for the next 4 months, maybe not the next year, And everyone was like, cool. Yeah, man, I get it. Get it. Nobody like changed their support. And I was like, oh, people are so awesome. But it's been, everybody's been so understanding. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. I want to check out Valheim. My buddy, two of my friends actually played it for a few hours the other night, and my buddy was texting me about it. maybe, maybe I'll get it. Just, yeah, it's really hard for me to justify buying a game nowadays just because it's hard for me to justify it. Yeah. But spring break is coming up. We're going out of town. We're getting back in town on a Thursday, and I don't have to be in class until the next Wednesday. So maybe that weekend I'll have some video game times with my buddies. Long time no see from them. Play some Valheim. Is there PvP and stuff? I haven't looked that deep into it, but it seems fun enough. What I've really wanted to play for a long time, Grant, is GTA 5 Online. Or Grand Theft Auto Online, whatever the hell it's called. I played the single player campaign when it first came out on my PS3. That's the only time I've ever touched that game. I bought it on the PC when it was on sale, like for $15 a long time ago. I don't think I've ever even installed it, but I've wanted to play the online portion for so long, and just I've never had for whatever reason. But yeah, there's a long list of games that I'd like to play that I never have, and I'm the kind of person who there's certain games that I absolutely love. There's certain games that, like, me and my friends played back in the day. I mean, ungodly amounts of, right? Like PUBG. I say back in the day, that was only a few years ago. But PUBG or Company of Heroes, even. I love those games. I could fire up PUBG and play it literally all day. But my buddies some of my friends like hop from game to game so often, and I'm kind of the opposite. Like when I find a game that I love, I just want to play it, and I rarely get sick of it. Does that make sense? Like if a game gives me an adrenaline jolt, like PUBG or Postscriptum, dude, I have a hard time like going to something else. Does that make sense? I don't know. Anyway, why did I start talking about PUBG? I don't even remember. Anyway, I appreciate that, Grant. Cheers, man. Yeah, maybe I'll get Valheim after our trip. We'll see. I'm already on like vacation brain, but I have so much school within the next week, exams and stuff like that. But vacation brain is already here. We already have our, like, I'm so excited to go on these hikes, different waterfalls. My daughter, is going to love it. She loves running on trails with me, and like, she loves playing outside. So like a trip up to the mountains, it's going to be a blast. I'm already like, I mean, everybody feels this, right? Whenever you're like a week out from a vacation, all you can think about is that, and everything in between it just kind of like loses its importance a little bit. But anyway, I appreciate that, Grant. Cheers, man. Austin Coke, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I appreciate that. Let me take a sip of the old water. Ooh, here we go. Austin says, okay. Austin asks, it's a fuck, marry, kill question. So would I fuck, marry, or kill the 3 trilogies? And he says, go. All right. So obviously I would, oh man. I would marry the original trilogy. That is the commitment. That is my lifelong commitment to that trilogy. It is a marriage. It is a bond. I have a wedding ring on, but maybe I will get another ring on the other hand and the ring finger just for the OT. That is the bond. That is the lifelong bond. I don't think anything will ever, be better than that when it comes to Star Wars for me. So marry the OT. I would probably fuck the sequel trilogy. Because I do like the first 2 movies in the sequel trilogy. It just looks beautiful. It's fun. It's fast paced. It's enjoyable. There's some twists and turns. I don't know if I'd kill the prequel trilogy, but that's the option that you gave, so that's the one that I'd probably kill. So, like, I like one movie thoroughly from the prequel trilogy. This is The Phantom Menace, and I think a lot of that is due to nostalgia. And I really like two movies in the sequel trilogy, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. So just by those odds, you know, I'd have a little fling with the sequels. Now tell me how wrong I am, internet. I cannot believe that you picked the set of movies that I don't like. That's my answer, Austin. I appreciate the question. Do you, HelloGreedo, take the original trilogy to be your lawfully wedded trilogy? I do. To have and to hold, for sickness of poor. Anyway. I broke my microphone stand this morning, and it's kind of, I held it on with a little screw. I can't find the nut to tighten it, so I'm kind of holding it up the whole time. I apologize for the squeaking that you hear. Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much for the channel support. I greatly appreciate that. Oscar says, long time no see. Yeah, man. Every time I hop on here, I feel like I've been like neglecting everything. It's weird. It's a weird feeling, like going from streaming, I mean, almost every single day for a solid year, and now streaming like once or twice a month, you know, in the past 3 months. It's crazy. Yeah, it's always good to come back and see some familiar faces and have some all over the place conversations like, you know, like we like to. But anyway, Oscar, I appreciate that. Penguin says, hey, Greedo, you got any tips to increase running endurance? I can run 2 miles max at around a 7 minute. That's a great pace. But after that, I slow down substantially. How did you increase your endurance? How did I increase my endurance? Golly. There's really no good answer to it, man. Like, what I did from the jump. So I started running heavily back in, it's almost been a year, man. It's almost been a year. It was like late March, early April, kind of like right when the pandemic started going, oh shit, you know? So maybe like April or so, I started heavily running, and I started at 4 miles. I started at 4 miles, and it was what I did, and this is probably, you know, this is just what I did. I'm not saying this is the end-all be-all and this is what you should do, but this is what I did. I started at 4 miles, and I wasn't concerned about pace. My pace sucked. It sucked. I probably averaged, like, because, you know, I had to stop a lot back then. I probably averaged, I don't know, 10-minute miles, maybe, back then. Now in a 4 mile, 5 mile run, I usually average about 7:30 per mile. I've kind of, over the past couple months, I haven't really ran as much as I'd like to, but, you know, maybe 15 miles a week is kind of what I've been doing for the past 2 months. But yeah, so I started at a distance rather than wanting to, for speed, if that makes sense. So starting at 4 miles, having a shit pace of like 10-minute miles back a year ago, and I just basically worked within that 4 mile distance, that 4 mile frame, and I could literally see over the months that pace kind of get chopped off, you know, by 15 seconds here, 15 seconds here, boom, 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 and eventually I'm down by like 3 minutes from where I started per mile, you know. So that's basically, that's how I did it. I don't really consider, I mean, obviously pace is, the only reason that I kind of pay attention to pace is because it is a fun thing to challenge myself on. If I'm running, I usually, like, my pace, let's see. Let me see, my last run, let me go to my Garmin Connect app. Oh, somebody just bought a t-shirt. Somebody actually just bought 2 t-shirts. One is somebody bought a coffee mug. If that's one of you guys, I appreciate that. Somebody just bought a Happy Life Day Christmas shirt. Nice. Cool. Let's see. My last run, which was Sunday, which was yesterday. Running. My pace was 7:31 for a 4.1 miles. So, yeah, that's what I did, man. I started at 4 miles just because there's kind of a route in my neighborhood that's just kind of perfect. I started running with my daughter in the stroller, and, you know, we go up to the park and run all around, and it was just 4 miles chunk, and started at a shitty pace, and I whittled it down without changing distance, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Hell yeah. Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much for the channel support. Oscar says, I think I'd like Rogue Squadron to be post The Rise of Skywalker. Let's see. When is it? I actually can't remember when it takes place. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat. When does it take place? For whatever reason, I want to say that it takes place after Return of the Jedi. Not long after Return of the Jedi, right? Like 5 or 10 years? What am I thinking? Am I putting incorrect information out there? Am I playing make 'em up? Does anybody know? I honestly don't remember when it was. I feel like that information is definitely out there, but I don't remember. I'm gonna wait for the chat to correct me. It would be cool to have some post Rise of Skywalker stuff. I'm sure post Rise of Skywalker stuff will be like, maybe the next, episodic trilogy, which, come on, guys, we're definitely going to get one, right, in the future, will be the only post-Rise of Skywalker stuff. I don't know. Post-Rise of Skywalker, I feel like, will be a huge era that they jump into, not just like a Rogue Squadron. Yeah. I don't know. They weren't specific on with Rogue Squadron will take place in universe timeline. They just said the new era / new generation of Star Wars. Oh, interesting. Really? Okay. Yeah, I did not know. Empire Air. The X-Wing that is in the title logo is an older style X-Wing with the 4 engines, not the 2 new ones. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. For me, I kind of love the idea of it taking place during, the Galactic Civil War. Not because that is kind of my favorite era, but that when it comes to like dogfights and the potential of like pilot stuff, X-Wings and TIE fighters, man, I just think, I don't know, the idea of that just excites the hell out of me, But anyway, yeah, man, I'm pretty pumped for it. Every once in a while, I forget about all the cool stuff that's coming, and then I'll remember and be like, oh yeah, we got a lot of cool Star Wars stuff coming down, But anyway, I appreciate that, Oscar. No, I never went to Captain's Mast. I was a good boy. It is in a future era, so that means post Rise of Skywalker? Really? Interesting. All right. I'll have to look into that. I don't remember any of that information. It's been a while since I've paid attention to anything, too, so. But, yeah. Anyway. All right, guys. That is it for me. I'm going to go have a very, very quick lunch. Go pick up my daughter. Come home and yeah, I don't know. We've been playing unicorns lately. I don't know how to describe it. Like, my daughter's imagination is just firing on all cylinders. Like, we'll go into her big playroom. We have like a loft in the upstairs, and I'll be the pink unicorn, and she'll be the white unicorn, and we'll have to run. My office is the magic forest. Her bedroom, her curtains have to be closed. They have to be closed. She'll pitch a fit. Her bedroom with the curtains closed is the magic cave, and the guest room, she says, is Mars. So I don't know how to describe this game that we play. We basically just run from location to location, pretending to be unicorns. It's fun as hell, man. Isaiah, thank you so much for coming in with the final super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that. New trilogy involving Rey after Rise of Skywalker. Oh, I would love it. Absolutely. I think it's inevitable, Isaiah, that we will get another trilogy post Rise of Skywalker. I don't think Episode 9 is the end of the episodic features. I say that because, 30 years from now, maybe there's going to be an entire new, folks at Disney, folks at Lucasfilm, people who spearhead Star Wars. Do you think they're just going to sit on their hands and be like, well, 20, 30 years ago, they said this is the last one? No way. They're going to make another, trilogy. We're just going to have to wait for it, right? I might be 64. We'll see. Who knows? But, so, yeah, I think it'd be cool. I think it's ultimately inevitable. But, yeah. I dig it. I do think it's inevitable. With Rey, sure. There's no question in my mind that it will involve the sequel trilogy characters in some form or fashion. But ultimately, I do think another trilogy, post Rise of Skywalker is inevitable. But anyway. All right, guys. Thank you so much for the channel support. I appreciate the hell out of it. I was gonna say I'm planning on a video. I have like 3 or 4 videos in my Google Docs, kind of written here and there, that I like. It's just all about finding the time to make them, So yeah, stick around. I appreciate the patience. So, all right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you are on planet Earth. I appreciate the hell out of everybody who supported the channel this afternoon. I appreciate all the fleet members. Isaiah, welcome to the fleet once again. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will catch you all on the flip side. See ya.